are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. So, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
How to count.
And we forgot how to count. It's Monday morning. Holy crap.
Monday.
6.
Help us.
5, 9, 10, 10. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tech Shamans.
Welcome.
Happy Monday, if there can be a
That's an
happy
oxymoron.
Monday. Yeah, I know. It's funny.
Actually, Monday's like relaxing because usually the weekends are so hectic. It's just crazy.
Hey, it was hectic here.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
Yeah.
We opened up, well, unfortunately, I did not. We opened up the Nerdosphere.
Yep.
The grand opening this weekend. We had
It was really good.
100-something people.
Sweet.
Show
Yeah,
up
it looked pretty nice. There were a lot of people. We had games set up outside, games set up inside, of course.
And we're building a brand new
careful
table on the Nerd Talk set so
Yep.
people can actually play in the original Nerdosphere, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's next thing you know, all of a sudden we're kind of popular.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Yeah,
We're the new ugly girl on the block, and everybody thinks we're hot
And easy.
and easy. So it is what it is. So I'm going to be the first person out of the block today to say, you know what I did this weekend?
What'd you did?
I NyQuil'd myself to death almost.
And unplugged.
And I unplugged. Let me tell you something. I have this throat thing that hits me
Yeah.
every few years. It just tears me up. Like several years ago, I had to have it scraped. It was so bad. It's an infection in my throat, and it's not catchy or anything. It's not COVID, but it literally makes me sick. So this weekend was the weekend to get rid of it. Thank God. I still have it.
You did.
I have the end of it, so I don't. I'm probably on his talk. I'll always talk. It's just kind of what I do.
You? Never.
Yeah. And so, what did you do, Adam?
I put running boards on my truck.
Ooh,
Yeah,
running
That sounds
boards.
exciting.
Only because I'm too short to get in it. Me and my wife.
What kind of truck
You know,
is it?
at least
I
you're
have to
honest.
ask. What kind of truck is it?
14 Ram 1500. Yeah.
They're not that tall.
Tall enough for us. You just have to.
1,500 can get pretty big.
When you have to.
I had one.
We've got one, and it definitely, requires a heck of a step up.
Yeah,
So
watching my wife slide out of it, it's like.
That's how you know
She's
what.
4'11". I mean, you got to give her a break.
I love your wife. Your wife is
Yeah.
awesome. I had the Hummer has. You can tell the people that owned it before me were. They that's what they did, slid out.
Oh, yeah.
Because the edge of the I had to
the
put
edge of the seats
whole
are
new
worn
seat
out.
Cover in there now
Yep.
because of because me, I don't just jump out. I slide out like everybody else does.
Now the wife wants a power seat for the driver's seat, so
That's not a bad idea.
now that's my new project to look around for something.
Oh, well, those are easy
I
to
don't know.
those are easy to find.
Oh yeah.
Get them out of a Durango,
There you go.
new Durango. So what do you do, Andy?
I went to the Nerdosphere grand opening on Saturday.
Built a table.
Yeah, we had. Well, that was Sunday. Came in, worked on the table. Did you see those new casters I got for it? They're up there. You're gonna like those.
I don't see them. I gotta go,
so-
I want to go see them.
Yeah. So we had. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and we had company as well. So juggling that. But I discovered that one person doing a job for 3 hours is not the same thing as three people doing a job for 3 hours. So I underestimated how much time it was going to take for me to finish
I
that
helped
table.
him last time.
Yes, you did, and you were worth two people.
See,
That's
sometimes
the fact, Jack.
I'm worth.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
So, well, I noticed that at the end, the link you had in there was dead. So,
Oh, I can go find it again.
Yeah, I bet
because
you
I really
can.
do. I really do want to. This
you
was.
want to hit that story?
Yeah, because look, every one of us has to do scanning, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing. Now, it is
Yeah.
now because of the way the COVID world has
Yeah.
taken us, right?
Yeah. In-person
So
signings are rare.
what I didn't know is you could actually use your iPhone document scanner, but you can control it from your Mac.
Yeah, that's new. I've been using a TurboScan. Okay, as an app on my iPhone, which is freaking fantastic. It does it does a 3-time scan. You get super high resolution, and then you can save it as a PDF. But now I had not realized that you can scan something within the to-do list. Okay, on your phone. There's a scan option in there, but apparently. But then you got to wait for everything to sync up and go through all the hullabaloo of getting the image over to your other computer where you actually need it, where you can send it and, work on it, digitally sign it, whatever you got to do. But now Mac coordinates and you can use your phone as an outside scanner.
Yes.
From within the Mac thing you're working in. So if you're working in Pages or whatever, you need to scan an item, you can go ahead and choose Insert, Scan, and from your phone.
Right.
And then use your phone to scan directly into your document. That's awesome.
It's pretty badass.
I love it when the technology works together seamlessly.
And
that is just fantastic.
Look, so here's the thing. Here's my question. Here's my request from Apple. Let it work with your PC.
No.
Yes, you got
that's you can't.
No.
I mean,
well, there's got to be a way. Bluetooth. There's
no, but the operating systems speak to each other.
Yeah, plus, there's no control of the ecosystem. I mean,
I know.
Every PC is a.
Well, I can always just do it and then send it Bluetooth to my
exactly that you can do. But what this allows you to do is pull it.
But it's instantaneous
from the phone.
Yeah, because I tried it on my Mac at home.
Yeah.
Because I went over and I said, okay, do it. And I found it. I'm like, click. And I'm like, well, holy crap.
Yeah, boom, done. Now, does it save as a PDF is my question.
You can save it as a PDF.
Okay, that's an option. Good, okay. Because then my TurboScan has probably just become obsolete. I mean, I love it and I'll never let it go. But
let it go,
yeah.
let it go. I'm sorry.
Can't hold it back anymore.
Yep.
But leave it to Apple to leapfrog.
That's pretty, and to me, that's pretty dang cool.
That's some good stuff.
I think right now, though, I think Apple's Notes app has been having some since iOS, I think 13 has been having some sync issues.
It is, right?
Yeah. So that's something to watch for. If you like my wife likes to make lists inside her Notes app.
Yes.
So she likes to continuously add to it.
Yeah.
And a problem I've been coming across is every time she turns on her phone, or she has the Notes app up and then closes it out, but doesn't force close it and close it out. When she goes back to it to relaunch it, the whole note will be blank.
Yeah.
Or there'll be issues with can't move the cursor, can't type. Words start typing smaller.
It's buggy.
It's been a really bad bug in it. Don't worry, the stuff's still there. It's still synced with iCloud. You just got to literally close out the app by swiping up and getting the app out closed fully, and then relaunching it, and it all comes back.
It all comes back. Yeah.
But in my case, I hear screaming and stress every single time this happens. Yeah. So all I do is swipe it out and hand it back. There's nothing I can do.
Does that is it almost like turn it off, turn it back on?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Turn it off and turn it on again.
When it comes to list making, though, one of my favorite apps is Out of Milk. It's called Out of Milk. It is a grocery shopping app.
Yeah.
And it is awesome because you can coordinate, you can link other people with it, so you have the same list. So, your spouse can add to it while you're out. Okay, really? Then you get to the store, and what's nice is you can be at home, and you go, oh, I got this bottle of vitamins. I want to make sure I get the right one again. You can scan the barcode, and it automatically inserts the right item into it. And it, assuming it can be found, it has to be a reasonably common item. But it is just so cool. It departmentalizes everything for you. You start to type, and it'll complete. I need banana. Yeah, give me bananas. Boom. Okay, and
who knows how to spell bananas?
Right.
See, it's not that smart because we need to make it even smarter by having a smart pantry.
Yes.
One when you scan the code going in and adding to inventory, and then when you go to use it to eat.
Yeah. That's great. What do you do with a half gallon of milk?
Mark it at half.
Yeah, see, you have to mark it.
We
it's not
don't
that
want
smart.
that. We want a camera that's going to judge.
No, scale.
They have
scale in the fridge.
They have the refrigerators that have that inside.
Yeah. They do have smart fridges that do that.
Smart fridge, you can say,
smart pantry.
what am I low on? And it goes, okay, you need this.
Yeah.
It's not so smart.
But until then, you have Out of Milk. And it is a really super app. I love it.
Kind of reminds me of when George Carlin was doing that one stand-up, talking about people that used to come over to your house and inventory your refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the old days, we couldn't open we take he said take a Polaroid and go sit down, figure out what you want, and go back and go get it instead of standing there in front of the fridge with the oil door open. He says back in the old days, you couldn't do that. We had to make an oil painting.
Nowadays, I just walk up to mine.
Let me draw that for you. Hold on. I'm drawing this real quick. You can't. Hold on and stop. Don't drink that. Oh.
It's all oil.
I just walk up, double tap the glass, and it lights up the inside, and I can see what's in my fridge.
Oh, you have one of those fancy ones.
Yes, we do.
Fancy.
Yeah.
My wife wants one of those.
Fancy.
We just remodeled the kitchen, so say
Fancy
nothing.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Does it have the Smart Hub Android app in it? The big Android.
No.
15-inch Android tablet?
No, it does not have a tablet on the front. It just has a glass door
that goes back
and that you can see
updating
through.
after
And if you double tap the glass, the light comes on inside. I love that. That is like so cool.
That is cool.
I didn't know it did that until I accidentally bumped it one day. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Like,
honey, you left the door open.
Now,
you mean the person at Lowe's did not tell you, by the way, if you touch this, it'll turn on and you can see what's in there?
At Lowe's they would have, but it was Home Depot where we got it. So they're just like, yeah, whatever, get out of here.
Just slap it in the back of the truck.
Exactly. Now, however, I will tell you this. If you're going out there at night and you don't want to light up the whole kitchen, you can tap that and it becomes a nice big bright night light in the kitchen while you're working.
Anthony said tap that.
Tap that. Just saying.
You see what I got to deal with here?
We're nerds and geeks. We're nerds and geeks. What do you
I don't care if you're nerds and geeks. This is supposed to be tech shamans. You're supposed to be shamans today.
Well,
Get in touch with your higher self, okay? There we have it. Oh, now that's the shot we need for the promo. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Anyway.
So you're a Gab guy.
Yep.
I'm trying to be a Gab guy.
This headline is driving me insane.
I'm trying to be a Gab guy. I just don't have time.
Is it
Gab.
the headline or the fact that it's so huge and
the
so
CEO of the far right?
Headline.
It's the way they wrote it. The CEO of the far right social media site Gab said it was under attack from demon hackers. The hacker threatened to leak passwords and private messages from 15,000 users. So the guy went in there. He probably didn't hack it. He probably just got an account and started doing screenshots.
Well, you can do more than screenshots. You can download, all the information. They're open source, okay? They open source their algorithm on the back end so that everybody can look at it. It is a free speech site. It is not right-wing. The fact that you don't ban anybody with a conservative voice does not make you extreme right. It just means you're in the center. And it really is a center site. But in this case, all that stuff just drives me crazy.
Here's something I did see.
Okay.
I was looking at Gab.
Yeah.
Right? When I had a chance. Mm-hmm. And we have an account and everything. But I found less stuff on there just like I found right stuff on there.
Exactly. Nobody's being censored. That's the point.
Both on it.
It is a free speech media site. Okay, and so we've got to get out of the idea of labeling everything that doesn't shut down conservatives as being right-wing radical extreme. It's like no, that's just one segment that's not being shut down.
John, I don't like what Anthony's saying. Could you please mute his mic?
Rob, mute his mic, please. Thank you. Because he's just way hanging over the edge there.
It's so simple. If you don't like something, you don't have to eat it. If you don't like what somebody's saying, you don't have to listen.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a lot of fake stuff on there and crap. And guess what? You learn how to research it yourself before you make an idiot of yourself sharing it.
No.
Yes, it's amazing how that works. Just like we used to with the old internet. Remember back when it's like, oh my God, this is an amazing project or product that's going to make me lose 400 pounds and in 7 days. Let me go ahead and buy it, and that happens to 2 people.
Pretty soon we're going to have to cancel April Fool's Day. Remember back in the day on the old internet where they would come out with funny stuff and we'd all realize it was, and they'll be like April Fools. No, not anymore.
Yeah,
man, it's April Fools every day.
Now it's lacking context.
But anyway, yeah. So and then the second, our story got well. So it's amazing how I think it was the same thing. Never mind.
Yep. So,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so crazy.
It's an open site.
It's so crazy. We wanted to talk about it twice.
Yeah, and I mean, they're also talking about the fact that just in terms of numbers, 15,000 user IDs may have been compromised. Okay, can we please put that in context? Out of 15 million,
right?
100%.
Okay, literally, there are like 15 million Gab users out there, or 30 million, one or the other. Well, and you're talking about 15,000.
A lot of times there's already databases of email addresses and passwords that people have been using.
Exactly.
Floating around on the internet. And
they're out there on the dark web.
And they've already tried it, and because somebody decided to reuse a password they've always used before, they were able to log in. Oh, one for the books. Click.
Actually, but the other thing that Andrew Torba pointed out was that the passwords they got were to join groups. Well, those aren't secret passwords. They're not meant to be secret passwords.
You mean they were shared in the
They were shared publicly. Hey, if you want to join our group, here's the password.
I got a password,
which is no big deal. But then they're reporting. But here's the really bad part. We're only going to share this information with far left researchers and far left journalists, so that they can go ahead and see what they can pull out of it and make out of it that will hurt people. That's really what the hackers have claimed. And that in and of itself is an incredible statement about, I'm sorry, but I just keep hearing, what's her name? Not Connie Francis, Patsy Cline in my head singing, "Who's fascist now?" That just keeps ringing in my head. Sorry. So, and I hear it in her voice too. It's really great.
Oh my God!
I love having an eidetic memory.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into this. So this one I put in here. I put this in, and I put it in for Adam. NVIDIA's GTX 1060 is coming out of retirement to mine cryptocurrency.
What the devil does that mean, Adam?
I didn't know it was retired.
Why would it be retired that doesn't make any sense. So basically, I guess everybody's getting excited because of the cryptocurrency. I did notice that recently, a 1030. 1030s just started showing up available at Best Buy. Remember, those older cards like that ran on DDR5, and there's no short supply of the DDR5 like there is DDR6.
Okay.
So they're probably pulling it out because people don't really know too much about crypto mining. A lot of new people will try to jump on the bandwagon. So the first thing they'll do is they'll try to build a computer and slap any video card in there,
right, and
then start getting their feet wet. So I think the video card manufacturers are like, well, this it's a good opportunity. Why don't we, while there's a crunch on getting the 3080s and everything out there, let's go ahead and release some of the, bring back some of the older GPUs, with the older RAM and stuff like that, and go ahead and try to benefit on, where this is going.
How much old stuff do you think there's still out there?
Oh, there's probably plenty of it. Yeah,
you found a what is that, PNY?
Yeah, it was a PNY 1030. It's available right now. It just came in inventory at Best Buy, and a 710.
Ooh,
yeah,
710.
Yeah. 710. Yeah.
Whoa.
If you're looking to just add like dual monitor support, and you're not looking to get
how much did that 1030?
That 1030, I think it was about 130, $150, or I think it could have been a
couple years ago. Get that thing for $79.
I think it might have even gone up as high as 179. I've just got to looking at it, and it was the most hilarious thing that I just seen available. Yeah, $129.99, and the 710 was $69.99. I believe that was DDR3, but the PNY 1030 was running DDR5 2 gigs. It's a low end card, but
but it'll get you through.
It'll get you something if you want to play Minecraft or League of Legends or something.
I love
like that.
Minecraft. It's so much fun.
Hot dog.
Right?
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's kind of funny that all of a sudden they're bringing all this stuff out of retirement.
Well, they have nothing to sell. They have nothing to sell. They can't make any money.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't. And we have another thing too, where another they're kicking out another Chinese company, Nahook or Kahook.
Yep. Oil company, I think, right? Or was it mining? Whatever it was. Yeah, they are funded by, or at least in part, by the Chinese military, partially owned by the Chinese military.
First of all,
And
if you're
according
in
to-
China, everything's owned by the military
I don't understand that. I mean, it is
because
what
it's
it
owned
is.
by the
That's-
government.
Well,
They're
but-
communist. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's.
If
everything's
you don't
owned.
think that anything that is shipped out of China is not controlled by the Chinese government or the military, you're sadly mistaken.
once something becomes global enough, I mean, every government gets in there. I mean, look at Russia. You know, what Kaspersky?
I mean, look at Google. It's owned by the CIA, FBI, NSA, HSA.
You mean the alphabet agencies?
Yes.
Oh, they should really change their parent company name to Alphabet. That would be so appropriate for. Oh wait, that's right. Here I was forgetting the most obvious thing in the whole wide world. Yeah. So, but
see me
that's
here,
the deal there. Trump put the kibosh on that and put the State Department on that. Said anybody that's directly involved and owned by the Chinese military is not allowed to be raise money basically off American investors. To fund a company owned by the Chinese military. Gee, I mean, personally, I don't know what's wrong with that. But there we go.
All right, we're
Yeah.
disjointed this morning. I think it's me because this right here. So you have this thing about we're using social media wrong.
Yep.
And
Too many, and I'm guilty of it too. When I sit here and talk about how we look at cost per thousand, and we look at impressions and likes and follows and all these things, and gauging the metrics and all that. I'm forgetting that in my own book that I wrote in 2015, it says this is really sad. It says forget the media part and remember the social. And the social is not measured in likes and follows and interactions and engagements. That's not how it's measured. You can't really sit there and look at it that way. And we kind of talked about it in regard to the Nerdosphere versus how many turned out versus how many are actually paying customers. And how do you get those? And the fact is, forget about the media, focus on the social. And in this case, this was a really good article that just brought it up again because I've been looking at it for about 4 days now and thinking about writing my own article, and then this one just hit my feed. So I'm like, okay, good, I'm done. Actually, my wife forwarded it to me. But the fact of the matter is, the ability to engage customers. I always push the whole, give. Here's information you need. Here's stuff that can help you. Here's, But the fact is, don't be afraid to ask questions of your customers. Now, you can create polls and surveys on Facebook, and that's fine. They're very limited in how you can run them and how you can use them. But if you've got, again, your own online marketing platform like we deal in, we have this phenomenal software right now that we're installing that allows you to do unbelievable levels of polls, quizzes, and questionnaires. And the quizzes are really cool because you can really customize the answers that people get when they take your quiz. So, much like the personality quizzes, these are diagnosis quizzes. And so, you can ask them a series of questions, and when they get to the end, it'll pop them into whichever one has had the preponderance of answers, in that they've asked about. So there's that kind of thing. There's just the basic nature of finding out what your customers are thinking. I mean, there's a ton of work that goes on in the sales department that is all based on assumptions. I went out and I sold this thing and it worked because the customer really needed a refrigerator that was this high to fit into a certain slot in the kitchen, which was our big limiting factor. We had a very short area. We actually had to raise the cupboard doors in order to fit the fridge in. But, but the fact is, you then get caught up in that idea that refrigerator height is the most important factor. And so you forget to ask about the other dimensions. You forget to ask about energy efficiency. You forget to ask about, and you may find out that while you're focusing on height, only 12% of the market's actually caring about height, and that 49% of the market actually cares about depth. And so that's where you should be focusing. But you don't find that out unless you ask. And so asking questions is the best way to social media. And to be able to gather that information and pull it together, requires in an actual, meaningful metric manner. So that, it's 49% versus 13%. And you're not just engaging in your own confirmation bias and going, see, these two people here agreed with me, so this must be the answer. And really, there were 19 people who disagreed with you, but you didn't see those because, confirmation bias just works that way.
Right.
So
you'd rather be told you're right than wrong.
And you'll find the evidence for why you're right, even if there's counter evidence that proves you're wrong. And so... But in this case, being able to ask those questions and really sincerely ask them. Don't just mercenary, I'm going to put out some stupid quiz, okay, about, whether you like, harvest gold or olive drab, or avocado, for my appliance colors. You notice I just went to 1979 on you there. Avocado green or harvest gold. Those were the two options.
Lovely.
Remember those? I don't know. Adam's not old enough to remember that, but you and I are. But those were all the colors in the late 70s. And so, it may be that people actually just want a white refrigerator. But you're only looking for the answers that say they want harvest gold, and so you're still making harvest gold fridges, and you're not even catching the whole wow, we're switching over to stainless because people are asking for it. Who are they asking? If they aren't asking you, they're asking your competitor.
Okay, so my question to you is, actually, I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
Got a client, pretend client, right?
Okay.
And we're cutting videos up, and we're putting the videos up on social media all over the place.
Right.
Trying to drive to his video watches and his say his podcast.
Okay.
And to his podcast downloads. Right. With all this tension that's going on through the social media platforms, it was good in the beginning, and then it stalled.
Right.
So it's better to probably go back and take and ask questions about what this man does, like what information do you need? Would you rather do this versus this, to get a conversation started so people can...
Yeah. I mean, it could be, hey, you know what? I'm figuring out what my podcast is going to be about next week. So, what's the biggest problem you've had with your plumbing? Okay, that you really needed answers to. And of course, I'm just making stuff up. This is a plumbing podcast.
I'm just
okay.
Doing
But the fact is, two things happen from that. One, you find out what more people are thinking about.
Right.
Two, you've just announced that next week's podcast is going to be about one of these items. And so now those people who have that problem, they're guaranteed listeners. Guaranteed listeners now to what it is you're going to be talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So it really is an excellent way, because now you're responsive to people and empathizing with people, understanding people, helping people. That is when people choose to do business with you. Yeah, is when you understand them and you answer their questions.
I have been noticing that people are tired of having information just shoved down their throat.
Yep.
Then they just turn you off.
Right.
But the minute you become engaged.
Yep.
And go, okay, well, hey, look, I've got this plumber guy that's, I'm a plumber and I'm going to do a podcast or a video every week, and what problems are you guys seeing more today than you have? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and so, you can have some multiple choice things in there if you want. Things like, are you more worried about, your steel pipes and, if they're covered by a lawsuit, or PVC pipes freezing in cold weather? I mean, you can put in some for instances and let them choose, and let them choose as many as they want. Don't just don't force them to choose one unless you're actually in a sales situation. But, there's, and it was really funny because this article I got early this morning And like I said, I was thinking about doing this because what happened was, I mean, yesterday I'm sitting there and I get, regular emails from marketers, and I'm like, yeah, swipe. And then this one came in saying, what is your, personality type for such and such? And I'm like, I really want to know that.
Yep.
And so I opened it up, clicked through, took the test, and went, this is exactly what I needed to know.
Right.
Thank you. Of course, they had built it as one of those, diagnosis quizzes.
Right.
So that it took the preponderance of my answers and gave me exactly what I needed.
Right.
And now it's like this person's usefulness in my ecosphere just skyrocketed, because right there at the bottom of that page is how I can deal with this.
Right.
Adam has his hand up. We're going to call on Adam right now. I think he has a
Adam, what's your question?
My question is, when setting up a service like that, what would you say would be the maximum amount of questions to continue asking before that person may give up on you? Because some people do have a short attention span.
Right. And there you are, it depends on how many diagnoses you want to offer to narrow them into. So the software we use, you start off with the end. Okay? And it's like, okay, I got 4 products I want to offer. 4 possible solutions. What questions do I have to ask to narrow it down? Because there is such a thing as too few questions. Okay? Because it's not magic. And you want them to get the right answer for their issue. And so you end up with, you really want to make sure you ask enough questions. And that's the point. It's not an actual number. It is enough. So that they feel like the answer they're getting is right. And when they get to but they don't feel like you're beating a dead horse. Okay, so do you walk to work or do you drive to work? I walk to work. So if you drive to work, how many times a day?
Yeah. And who hasn't seen that, right?
Yeah, it's like, no, I walk. No, I walk. Right. No, I walk. Okay, that's just dumb.
Right.
And you can build them also with, now we aren't quite ready yet on this platform to build these with conditional logic so that each question feeds into a specific next question. We can do that in the old platform, but it's a lot of programming, very cost intensive because of the labor we have to put into it. But in this one here, if you want to do a general quick one, it is really well made. Really well made. I love it. So, but again, the point is not to turn it into some mercenary thing, but it's because put the social back in social media. Don't be afraid to ask people open-ended questions and converse with them about it. Stay in the conversation. Stay there. Keep going. Find new questions to ask them. And when they start giving you one-word answers, you know that they've lost interest. Okay, that's a real key. When you avoid closed-ended yes/no questions. Okay, what's the worst problem you ever had with a plumber? That's an open one. Yeah, I can't answer that one yes or no. But have you ever had a problem with a plumber? Yes, no. There's no conversation there.
Right.
Okay, so structure your questions to encourage conversation as well. So there you go.
There you go.
I'm done. Stick a fork.
Well, we could just call the show done, and
we're done.
People got some gold right there.
All right, everybody, have a great day.
We'll cut that little section out and actually put that up as a little segment.
As you wish.
As we wish. All right. So here's something that
I was just reading that.
is kind of interesting. Verizon admitted 5G might be a big battery drain without admitting it.
Man, they could have gotten so many more clicks out of that.
I know,
if
right?
they had rewritten the headline saying Verizon admits 5G causes this kind of harm. Oh my God! All the conspiracy theorists would have been all over that thing, trying to find the part in there where it gives you COVID.
Well,
I mean,
or brain damage.
They got to remember.
Too late.
The modem. The hardest thing you can do to your modem in the phone is to have a technology that's not available all around. And what's going to happen is that modem is going to be constantly going out there trying to look for a signal to connect to, and it can't. So if there's no saturation of 5G, which there is not, as we are very well know, then that modem is going to be sitting there constantly
Churning.
draining down, turning on,
Yep.
looking. In the meantime, your 4G is going to be like, oh, hey, I found a connection. And it's going to, but if your default is the 5G, it's going to be constantly scanning before it finds, a modem that it's going to be, a tower it's going to be able to connect to. And of
Even
course
when
it's gonna
and
drain.
even when it finds it, for some reason, it is not fast.
Well,
Well, it's not real 5G.
It's either that.
Well, you see the 5GE,
It's
which
five.
means
Yeah.
that's the
fake.
4G.
But we
I guess
swear
they
to
were-
God, it's going to be 5G soon.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what it is.
So I like how just turn on LTE, which effectively turns off the 5G.
I was
part
going
of
to
the
say,
phone.
can you force your
Well, in the Verizon phone, what they're basically going to is telling you to go to the cellular options and then turn on. If you click if your phone is 5G capable, by turning on voice and data, use LTE, then it's only going to use the LTE. And so, as of right now, that was their excuse to say, hey, this will fix the problem, but you've just told all your customers that right now, just turn off your 5G modem and your battery won't drain as fast.
Which is true.
Yeah. I mean,
And there's really no 5G to hook up with, except unless you're at home on your Wi-Fi and you got a 5G Wi-Fi, which that setting will not
that's
affect.
different than
that's
cellular.
different. Yeah, that's different than cellular.
Yeah, that's different. So I just want to make that clear to people. Yeah.
So right now, that's pretty much what they were trying to, they're gonna get complaints. People are gonna buy a new iPhone from Verizon, or device from them, and then they're gonna notice the battery drain. So alleviate people returning the devices. They try to throw something out there, which kind of they basically shot themselves in the foot by doing that, thinking they'd be able to get away with just saying something quick. That's why they deleted the tweet. Because they knew darn well that, not everybody's, gullible.
Now, I'm looking at mine right now, and it's giving me the option under voice and data for LTE or 4G. And it's saying that LTE can load data faster and improve voice quality.
What phone do you have?
This is an iPhone 11, just like
Then
yours.
you've only had LTE is the highest option you had.
So I don't have 5G on it.
Right. They didn't release the 5G phone until the iPhone 12.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, there we have it then.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shut up.
I'll look at that when you're done.
Although I still have a terrible problem with my phone. Whenever I'm out and it picks up a Wi-Fi signal, it starts trying to validate all my certificates. And every 7 seconds, I get a pop-up that blocks my screen until I just turn the phone off and turn it back on again.
Turn your
Hard
Wi-Fi off.
I have, and it comes right back on again.
Turn off to allow it to connect to
I did that.
unsecured networks.
I did it. It won't. It absolutely just.
Delete your Gmail account.
I did. I took your advice last time on that one.
So I took that off, and it's never
Yeah,
come
mine.
back.
Mine has. Yeah, it's just driving me crazy.
Go in and
Yep.
and search your saved networks.
Yeah.
Like say for instance, Spectrum Wi-Fi.
Whatever. Yeah.
And go in there and delete all those that you've connected to at one point, and then turn off the connect to unsecured networks. It's probably connecting to networks that you've been to before
Yep.
and you have connected to at one time,
Yeah.
and trying to reconnect. And so therefore the unsecured networks feature is not going to work because it's already knows it's been saved at one point.
Here's a free phone tip we didn't even plan. I love it.
Yeah, like if you go to Walmart or Target, never connected to their guest network, take them out. Take them out,
Yep.
take them out, take them out.
Take them out. Take them out.
Take them out.
Get rid of that junk. Forget this network.
Because it being saved is irrelevant because it still has to go through and join that modem again one more
Right.
time and still bring up that CAPTCHA page.
So where do I find
you
that
go in.
list of networks that it's been?
We'll have to save that for another.
Okay,
That's
fine.
going to be a whole show
be
unto
that way.
itself. And we'll even put your thing up there, and you can watch it go.
I'll help you after
What?
the show, Anthony.
Oh, my phone. Okay, I see
So-
what you're saying.
Did you guys get to go through this one? 13 of the best hidden iPhone features we could find in iOS 14. Have you seen this?
I did.
I haven't gone through the list yet,
I did.
but
Like-
I might already have some of this stuff.
Yeah.
that I
So
might-
set up
Yep.
your default email or web browser,
yes,
Yep.
that's a pretty cool
Yep.
feature,
Right. So
Which
you
I still
Yep.
use the same ones. That it's
and you
always
can get a privacy report
been. Yes.
Yes.
for trackers
That's really cool.
prevented which I think is pretty damn cool itself, right?
No, it's not cool. It's snazzy.
It's snazzy. It's so snazzy.
I guess we can't say cool anymore.
Can't
Okay,
cool
fine.
anymore. You can quickly
Yeah.
get rid of an app home screens.
Which you'll notice that event when you sit there and hold it and they start jiggling. When they get the option, it'll say
Right.
delete from home screen
Right.
or delete app.
Yes.
So you got those two options. now.
That to me is very, very nice.
Yep.
Banish newly downloaded apps from your home screen.
Yep.
Which is
The thing right there,
Yep.
right? Take better photos on iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max.
I notice how they said just 12 Pro.
You can-
Pro Max.
I know, yeah,
because
Adam and I have
because you have to
identical
go in and put
11s.
it into RAW.
Because our
Yeah.
R11s are just useless. I mean,
They're
it's
just
only
like
been
so
6 months ago.
yesterday.
So yesterday, I'm sorry. Search emoji keyboard. This one is
Yeah, I did that.
this is crazy.
Yeah, I have
mean,
been.
can't
I
believe how
wasn't
many
aware of
emojis-
that.
Did you know
and
how many
that's
emojis we have on a phone now?
Two.
It's stupid.
Too many.
42.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
I get what you did there.
Uh-huh.
View what data an app
Yeah.
collects about you.
That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Because you can get in there and you can find all the crap that you didn't know
Yep.
was going on.
Hidden photos are now actually hidden.
Yeah, you actually
Yeah,
have to go
that was
turn
really
them on.
funny. Yeah, it's like, do you want to click on the hidden photo icon? It's like, wow, that's hidden.
Yeah.
Now you got to go through settings in order to get to it.
Right.
But then it'll show up the icon
Right.
again, and then when you're done, you turn it back off again. So it's not exactly convenient. It would be nice if it just had a separate passcode on it. I mean, that to
That
me
would
would
be,
be the most
Put that
convenient.
in the notes.
Face ID.
I just announced it to the public, to billions of people.
Please
it.
activate
everybody
Face
on the
ID to
internet.
unlock hidden photos. Point blank.
This one I love is the YouTube videos picture-in-picture mode.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yes, I've been using that a lot.
That is awesome.
Because if you navigate away from something where you're watching the video, it kills it.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Podcasts don't do that. I have found a way of like clicking through and getting the audio to keep playing, even though I'm doing something else. But the picture-in-picture for things like YouTube and stuff is just great.
Yeah, remember back in
And-
the day when you couldn't do that? Like if you got out of, the app or anything like that, it just or
It was dead
the home
and
screen-
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need YouTube Red.
Yeah,
YouTube
exactly.
Pro to be able
Yeah,
to.
now you've got regular picture-in-picture right on the screen.
Then
I
there's a
love that one.
fake eye contact in FaceTime.
What?
Yeah, first of all, FaceTime's eye contact feature showed up in iOS 13 beta last year, but ultimately it's never released. Well, it's back in iOS 14. Essentially, your iPhone or iPad will take a look at your eyes or looking directly into the camera, even if you're staring at the screen.
That
It's a
is
subtle
really
feature.
cool. Yeah. I mean, if that can actually work, I really want to test that
So
because
the camera's going to move around and keep trying to find your eyes?
Right. And if you're looking at it, then it works. If it doesn't look at it, it doesn't work.
yeah, but if you're looking at the screen, it's going to I guess somehow lower the angle or something, change the angle
And you
of your
got
eyes.
to use
How the
the
heck
back,
does it work?
The back tap.
Oh yeah, the back tap. That sounds cool. I want to
Yeah.
go in and try that.
And
You can-
screenshot.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can.
you can
do
so you can be looking at your
anything.
messages while on FaceTime so people don't think you're looking at something else?
Right.
What, are you looking at? What are you doing?
You're not paying attention to me? Hey,
Exactly.
Hey, pay attention to me.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Look at your camera. Well, I mean, who even knows where their camera is on the face of their phone? Okay, it's not exactly easy to see.
That's not going to stop your facial expressions
not.
while you're reading something going,
And how about the double tap or triple tap? Have you guys been using that?
nah.
I just found out about that, and
I
that
turned
is
it off.
way cool because if you're on the front and you want to do a screen cap, just being able to double tap or triple tap and get your screen cap, I'm in love with that one.
know-
Instead of having to try and like finagle
It was
the buttons.
cool. It was
and-
cool in the beginning,
Yeah.
but every time I turn around, I'm taking screenshots because I think I double tap.
Yeah.
Without really
well,
double
which is
tapping.
why I would set it to triple tap. Now, the one thing they don't mention in there, okay, in that list, is if you triple tap. Now I have an 11. If you triple click the large button on the right, the home button, it turns it into a magnifier, a very high-powered, high-resolution magnifier, and it is awesome. You may not have
I
yours
turned mine
activated.
off. I turned it
Okay.
off.
It is phenomenal what you're able to do with it and the level that you can magnify at. I mean, if you look at right there, okay, I am I'm at a pretty low level magnification here, okay, but you're zooming in on my waistcoat, okay, and the pin on it, and it's just insane. I was at an antique shop, and a guy had a photograph of someone. And he's like, I don't know what this is. The guy looks like he's the captain of a ship, et cetera, et cetera. And he had like some like the like the medals or something from him, and the photo of him. And I'm like, hang on a minute. And so I used this, and we super zoomed in on the photo, and we could see the name on his hat and read it. And I went back and found out it was not a ship, it was a fire station. He was the captain of the fire department, not a ship. And I called the owner back, and I said, here's what I found. I sent him the pics and everything. He's like, oh, my God, this is incredible. You've actually pointed where this guy worked in 1912.
That's right.
It's so cool, but that's the kind of thing you can do with the new upgrades in the apps. So
Okay, so the last one here is an easier way to get back inside an app.
Okay.
Okay, so the next time you find yourself, I know, you find yourself deep within setting apps, wondering how to get there, or how many taps it will take you to get back to the main page. Remember to use this. Instead of tapping on the back button or in the top left corner, long press on it to view a list of pages.
Mm-hmm.
You can quickly and easily go back to once the pop-up shows
Yes.
to tap the page you want to go pretty easy.
Yeah, I discovered that on the regular back button on the browser, that you can just hard press on it and hold it, and it'll give you the whole list of everything you've done in that particular window, okay, of the browser. And so you can go back 5 steps without having to go click,
It's
click,
the
click,
not
click.
so way back machine.
Not so
There you have it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
not so way back.
good.
But it's neat because if you're in a place where you have filled out a form or a sales form or a credit card submission, you don't want to hit back because it could resubmit your credit card.
Right.
Okay, so having that thing to be able to skip back above it back to where you were shopping.
Right.
And look at what it was you bought. That's when you use that thing.
$3,500 for that $35 piece of equipment.
Yeah, well, you bought it 100 times. Back. So
got
yeah,
that
so
stuff open, I
this
guess.
allows you to do that, which is pretty damn cool.
Okay, so this
What's
next one
next,
is
Dr. John?
TSMC.
Who dat?
That's Apple's main chip supplier.
Oh, that's right. It's
Right.
not Samsung anymore.
To begin volume production of the 3-nanometer chips in 2022.
Crazy.
I know, right?
3 nanometer.
That's, it's
I love the fact that nanometer and nanometer are two different words that mean two entirely different things and are spelled exactly the same way, but they're pronounced
record and
differently.
record?
Exactly. It is exactly like record and record.
And that is
Yes.
why the English language
You
is so
need a
difficult.
nanometer in order to measure a nanometer.
That's correct.
And there you
That's
have
why
it.
the English language is so difficult to
And you need a
learn.
record to record.
Not if you're born here.
Well, we just figured it. It just
It just
happens.
all of that syntax is just embedded in your psyche as you're hearing it in the womb.
That's it. But anyway, so they're going to do. It's on
That's
track to
crazy.
begin risk production of 3-nanometer fabrication process the second half
incredible.
of this year.
oh, risk production. That means that it's probably not going to work, and they're taking a risk doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure it'll work.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how that works. No.
Well, I mean, ultimately, the 5-nanometer the capacity, which is 160,000 wafers monthly by 2024.
That is extraordinary.
Yeah, just imagine how many chips are on a wafer.
I know, right?
That's
And you got to sit there and you got to talk about chips and wafers, and now I'm hungry.
I know, right?
I know,
that's
but
crazy.
do I want potato chips or do I want vanilla wafers?
Well,
I'm stuck.
you can see that
Sweet.
all this
Salty,
COVID
sweet,
stuff's
salty.
not slowed down Apple at all.
No.
They're moving forward, going. It needs to get.
It really helps to have $1 billion in the bank when something like this happens. So you
Billion
go
bucks.
quick.
$1 billion.
Let's go build a factory.
Right. No.
They're like, hey, we're gonna build an Apple car, and they're like, well, no, not right now.
So we're gonna stick on the phone real quick. Is how old is the security patch on your phone? Do you know?
It's an
I don't know how
iPhone,
old
so
that
if you
Android
ran the
security patch
update
level
last
is.
week, you got it last week.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get to mine and I can't get to it.
Yeah.
I did it earlier.
Well, Android security patch.
Security patch. I have the version 12. I don't know what that means.
You got the iOS 12 security patch.
That's pretty
You
bad.
haven't updated in the last 48 updates.
What the hell's wrong with you, pal?
We update the iOS. We don't update security patches.
Didn't tell me how to get to.
No, I think, was it last week we were talking about the virus that was
yes.
the malware
Yeah.
on the iOS systems. And, of course, there's a brand new update out.
Right.
And I tried Malwarebytes, and it worked flawlessly and said I was clean. So that was
Yeah.
cool.
You're clean.
I'm clean.
This house
Yep.
is clean.
Yeah.
It works great.
Lights
for
green,
removing-
trap is clean.
It works great for removing browser hijacks as well. But unfortunately, it removes a majority of the problem. But the rest of it you have to remove manually, unfortunately, in the Apple ecosystem. You have to literally go in there and
Rewrite code. in the
rewrite
iOS.
code just to get it to go away.
Wow.
Especially redirects. Those are the hard part. Hard ones.
So from Gizmodo,
Yes.
right?
As they popped up that pop up on their website. Yes, we're Gizmodo.
Yes,
Just
we're
in case you
Gizmodo.
didn't know.
Rumor has it that the iPhone 13 will come with a terabyte of storage.
That is freaking insane. I mean,
It's got to be.
It's already got 512.
you already can get-
I found a 128 megabyte, memory card out in my workshop, and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. It'll take like 4 pictures, but it wasn't that long ago.
Only one if it's raw.
Yeah, really.
Hey, I just
And now here we are talking about a terabyte on your phone.
bought a 128 gig micro SD for a camera.
Yeah.
The other day.
Well, this has a 128 gig, flash drive. That's
Yes.
its operating system. This is an older MacBook Air.
There is a company that created a for the MacBooks.
Yeah.
Especially if they have the the SD card reader on them.
Yeah.
That is like a half-size micro SD, half-size SD card, and it fits flush with the frame.
Nice.
And you put it in, and it will link to your drive and
Nice.
expand your storage.
Nice.
With this.
Wow,
app
I
and
wish
stuff.
that would work on this thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing this thing doesn't have is a lot of memory, and which is okay because I generally use it just as a netbook, for the most part, and that's all it's really designed to do
Yeah,
with 128, gig.
Just remember, Apple's a
drive.
hardware company, people, and just like the iPhone, you cannot the newer MacBooks, you can't really upgrade the
Well, this is
drive.
2012.
Yeah. So if you buy a brand new MacBook or anything,
Yeah.
you need to purchase what you need. If at least by the middle of the road.
Yeah, at least
by the middle of the road. You spend the $200 today because later on, when you find out you don't have enough storage, you're buying a whole new MacBook all over again. And Apple will be more than happy to sell that to you.
I had a friend, ask online, gee, I've had my Mac, for 11 years, and now it just can't handle all the new software and everything.
Yeah.
Should I just get a cheap PC, or should I get another Mac? I just wrote 11 years.
11 years.
Exactly.
Why are you even asking this question?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's crazy. You're never going to save enough money. To not buy the Mac that'll last you a decade.
Right.
It's just, and I mean, the whole point of not having to redo things all the time, to not having to move all your software and put in a new computer and put in blah, 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 blah. It's always there. It's always updating. And after, 8, 10, 12 years, because again, this is a 2012. This is 9 years old and it functions flawlessly.
So is there any way to mod an old Mac laptop and turn it into a new can handle today's stuff Mac laptop?
No, because that's dependent upon the developers of the software.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually depending on the motherboard.
Yeah.
Well, no. Technically,
'Cause that's where
they're
you're-
all soldered in the chipsets, so there is no upgrading them. I mean,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. You
I mean-
can't upgrade them. That's the point.
and so even
Yeah.
if you bought, like, say for instance, you bought the a Mac Pro, okay, and you wanted to upgrade that. Their firm, even if you bought, like, say, for instance, somebody wanted to buy a video card for their Mac Pro to upgrade it, you can't go in a store and just buy any old video card.
No, you cannot.
No, you have to buy one that's compatible with Apple, because what Apple does is they contact, like, AMD, and they say, hey, look, you need to put our firmware on your chipset in order to be compatible with our Mac.
Yep.
And then they limit to how far it goes, and that's it. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It literally is that way.
But I mean, literally, okay, this thing is still updating to the latest edition of Catalina, the latest edition of Safari. Everything's still running flawlessly.
Oh, you'll be good for years still. So you'll be still good.
And 2012.
Yeah.
Think about that. This was like a $1,200 computer at the time. And I have bought
How many laptops
$1,100 laptops. Okay, from like HP, which of course I stopped buying from HP when I found out it didn't stand for Harry Potter. I was just so
wow.
But it lasted me 13 months.
Yeah.
Okay, I paid $100 a month for my HP. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. And it's like, everything is that way with them. And, yes, I have an old Toshiba tank, but I can't update it anymore. I can't upgrade it. I can't do anything with it. Okay, it's a tank. I did replace the battery. That's the best I could do. But it's useless, and it is the same age as this.
I still have at the studio, at the house, I still have my original dual G4. The first aluminum body that came out. I think the guy when I bought it Tiger Direct when it was back then. He goes, "This is the first one we've sold." You have it.
I have a dual Xenon Mac Pro at the shop right now for sale. Dual Xenon.
Damn. All right. With that being said, 40 seconds.
We are almost out of time.
We are almost out of time. We were going to get into the cybersecurity firm says those social media bots hyped GameStop during trading frenzy.
Sure.
They're just trying to make it all.
So what?
Somebody's trying to make money.
Someone's trying to make money. We understand all that kind of stuff. Hey, but if you got any questions, if you got any comments, text Shamans at WeBeamTV.com or go to the social media page and say, hey, if you like us, share us, get us out there, tell all your friends to watch us, and make fun of us.
Hang on a minute. I'm going to practice what we preach, okay?
Practice.
What would you like to hear us talk about next week?
Wow.
Have you seen some kind of tech something or other that you were wondering about? Put it in the comments, and we'll go ahead and we'll address it next week.
All right, everybody. Have
care.
a happy tech week. See you later.
Yeah.
Shamans, we understand, cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.